Hey there, everybody. It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's new drama, Divorce Sisters, Season 1, Episode 5, Breath of Fresh Air. And the synopsis for this episode reads, Naomi considers a permanent solution to deal with her ex-husband's harassment. And Rashida confronts the uncertainty of her marriage as tension mounts between her and Pastor Jefferson. And honey, this episode is something else. But I gotta apologize to y'all for being delayed and getting these videos up. I was supposed to have it up last week, but last week I was dealing with some drama of my own with the city and their jacked up sewer system backing up into our houses on this block. So anyway, that is my reasoning for being late. Whereas it knocked out my hot water heater, had cold water all week. So all of that was happening. So I wasn't thinking about doing a video. I was thinking about getting my house up and running and cleaned out. So I hope you guys understand why I was delayed. Now, before we get started with this video, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you. And you know why you want to do that? Because you want to help this sister's channel grow. So anyway, this episode starts off with Geneva, Tiffany, and Javon at the precinct waiting to get Naomi out of jail. And they've been there all night. And Javon and Tiffany are just talking. And he's doing all of that to make, Geneva jealous, basically. And she's sitting there all mad with an attitude. And she's like, when are they going to let her out? So Javon goes and checks while she and Bridget talk. She and Tiffany talk. And Tiffany's asking about the guy and stuff. And, of course, Geneva's not telling her anything. You're going to have to ask him. You're going to have to ask him. She's got all this attitude towards Tiffany. It's not Tiffany's fault. You're the one that told her to get back out there. And she's like, I know I told you to get back out there, but just be careful. And Tiffany's like, see, I knew it was something. What is it? You're my girl. Tell me. You're going to have to ask him. So Tiffany's like, fine. And then Javon comes back and says they're about to let her out. So here comes Naomi looking busted up. Okay, dress ripped, torn. She looked like she done been through the ringer up in that jailhouse. She's like, they ripped my dress. They did this. And Geneva's like, it's okay. It's okay. I got you. Come on. So they take her home and they're going to get her all, settled into her house. But in the meantime, while they were waiting for her to come out, Bridget calls and lets them know that Rashida is not answering her phone. They don't know what's going on, why Rashida's not answering, but she says she'll meet them at Naomi's house. So then we see Bridget. Bridget is, oh Lord, I don't know what's wrong with that child. She's trying to get, what's his name, Vaughn up to go get a job. And he's like, why are you making all this noise? I can't even sleep, man. And she's like, look, I got to go to work and stuff. Well, can't you do that downstairs? I'm trying to sleep. She said, I'm not going to be going to work. And you sitting here playing video games. Is that what you're doing? I'm trying to get my sight up. She said, you need to get a job. You sound like my mama. Well, then maybe you need to go live with your mama. Because he was like, if I wanted to deal with that, I would have just stayed at her house. That's what she said. Maybe you should just go and live with her. Then I'll help you pack. But I'm like, what is wrong with you? This man is yelling at you, acting like this is his house. He don't pay no bills or anything up in there. So then you hear knocking on the door. Knock, knock, knock. She go downstairs and it's Calvin talking about Vaughn took the key from his job and he can't get the safe open and he's going to have to call a locksmith and pay for all of that. He said he need his key. She goes up there. He's like, why are you asking me? I got his key or something like that. She's like, you sure you don't have his key? She goes downstairs to tell Calvin. Calvin's like, yes, he does. Calvin goes up there and said, let me talk to him. He's like, oh, but meanwhile, he tells her, what are you doing? You deserve a man, he told Bridget. Bridget's like, I don't need you to tell me what I do and don't deserve. He's like, fine. But Bridget, you know better. Come on. You see what you're going through with this man. He cussing at you. And she telling this young boy, that's going you better not be raising your voice at me. You ain't going to be cussing at me no more. And I'm sitting there going, oh, Bridget, I don't know I guess he just laying it on you in the bed. Let him be a booty call. Don't let him be your man living up in there talking about this his house. So, Calvin go up there. They get into a freaking fight. And he about to hurt the Calvin. And we learn later that Calvin is a boxer. So Calvin really could have messed him up. But I think when you're a boxer, professional boxer and stuff, you do that, you can end up in jail for some mess like that. Let me know if I'm right about that or wrong about that. But I think there's something about that. When you're fighting out in the street with people who are not professionals, I think you could get in, you could get yourself in trouble. But anyway, they get into this big fight where Vaughn went about to crack something over Calvin's head, and Bridget stops him and stuff, and he leaves, and he's like, F you, man. And he said, and F you, Bridget, for defending him. I'm getting out of here, something like that. I was like, what the? This is you gonna bring him up in my house? And Calvin keeps saying, it's not your house. A house, when it's your house, you paying the bills, not letting your woman pay on the bills. That's what a man does, I mean, it just got ugly. Anyway, so now we have this quick scene when Pastor Jefferson's son come in there and asks him for money. And he's like, is that how you ask for money? He said, Dad, I need money. It's like, what? And he's like, he has to, at this age, he's trying to teach him to say good morning when he comes in. Like, really? He goes this whole thing, gets the son to say good morning. Then he tells him, you get an allowance, so why do I have to give you money? And he's like, I ran out, so I need new money. New money? He said, well, where's your mother? I don't know. She your wife. I was like, oh. He said, okay, so she my wife. So guess what? Ask your mother if she could give you the money. But this is the first moment when Jefferson realized Rashida's not around, and that he doesn't know if she's in the guest room or not. He don't even check. So he makes a phone call, talks to somebody, says he's going to run to the gym first. Next, we see Javon pulling into Naomi's, I guess, driveway with Geneva and Tiffany and Naomi in the car. He gets out and tells Tiffany that he's going to take a ride share home. And the rest of them are supposed to go into the house. But no, Geneva stands out there and watch them talk the whole time. She doesn't go in with Naomi. She's standing there making sure her presence is known while Tiffany is having this little conversation with Javon, exchanging phone numbers, making date plans and all of this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, Geneva, go your behind inside. Why are you standing out there? It just made no sense. And so then Tiffany offered him to come inside and wait. And Geneva's like, no, I don't think that'd be a good idea. And she's like, why not? She said, because it's not going to be a good idea, whatever. He said, I'll wait out here. It's 5 minutes away. I was like, this is so wiggity, wiggity, wiggity whack. Geneva, you messy, girl. You messy. Stay out of their business. You the one that was pushing her to get out there and date. So anyway, they get inside, and then Bridget shows up, and she asks Naomi some kind of dumb questions like, you okay? She's like, hell no, I ain't okay. I just got out of jail. My dress is all ripped, blah, 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 And she gets mad at her. She attacks Bridget, and she says some mean and hurtful things to her, like you ain't never had a man check on you, and you ain't never been married, and you up here taking care of some little boy and all this stuff, and Tiffany stops her and said, look, we're not going to do that because you're hurting. You're not going to hurt each other. We're here because we care about you. That's what it is. And so Naomi apologized to Bridget. Bridget was like, I'm going to leave. And Tiffany said, no, you're going to stay because we're going to leave together. And they were stopping Naomi from drinking first thing in the morning. So anyway, they told her that they love her, even though she was saying nobody loves her. The only person that ever really loved her was her grandmother, and her grandmother's gone, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, they left and said they would be back to check on her. They go outside, and Bridget starts to talk, and they said, because she got them ring doorbells. You could hear all the conversations. They had to move away from it. Meantime, Tiffany gets a text message from Javon, and he's saying he's looking forward to seeing her tonight, yada, yada. Okay, fine. So Bridget's like, ooh, and Geneva's like, you're going to go out with him? You really going to go out with him? Like, be careful or something like that. I don't know what she said. Anyway, Javon is out there running. He's getting in a run first thing in the morning. He don't go to sleep, but he get in a run. And he calls William. And William's asking him, how did it go with Tiffany, blah, blah, blah. And he said he's having a date with her that night. And then he wants William and Geneva to come on a date with him. And he's like, nah, man, nah. I'll give a break. He said, besides, Geneva been acting strange. But see, William is being dirty and rotten. First of all, you messed up. You calling that man and you trying to get his wife. Okay, that's the first wrong thing. The second wrong thing is you trying to make her jealous by sitting there, while he on a date with another woman, with her friend at that. So when you say he's a good man, you got to put that into perspective. A good man wouldn't be trying to make somebody else jealous. A good man wouldn't be going after a married woman. A good man wouldn't be calling the woman's husband, acting like he's his friend, and when he's trying to get with his wife. So I'm sorry, I don't know how good man is defined, but I don't see that in Javon. If I'm wrong, y'all can say it's just my opinion. But I was happy that William said, nah, you just enjoy yourself and we'll hear about it tomorrow. And that was cool. But I forgot to tell y'all, when the girls were at Naomi's house, Tiffany told Geneva, stop sugarcoating everything and tell her the deal. And she told her how what she did was terrible, that she could go to jail for it, throwing that hot coffee on that lady's back. That lady got third-degree burns. We're going to have to get you a really good defense attorney. You could really go to jail for this. And she was like, it can't be any worse than what I'm going through now. They were like, you are ridiculous, girl. So they had to let Naomi know that she is in a bad position, especially that it went viral on the internet. At first it was like only 29 views. In the next thing you know, in the morning, it was 17,000 views. So everybody has seen it, know about it. It's ridiculous. So then we have this quick scene with Tiffany and Bridget in the car. And Bridget is driving her back to her car, which is still at the church. And they start talking about Calvin and Vaughn and how they got into this fight and all this stuff. And Tiffany's like, what? Because Bridget is saying Calvin going to be sore and all this stuff. And Tiffany's like, Calvin is a professional boxer. If he didn't hurt that boy, it's because he didn't want to hurt him. She said, you better go and call and check on him. And Bridget said she would. So what I'm seeing here is that Calvin really likes Bridget. And I guess he never stepped to her before. And every time he keeps saying she need a real man and all this stuff, Bridget be stepping back like something wrong with him. Ain't nothing wrong with Calvin, But Calvin right on point with what she need. She need to drop that little boy. But she said, I sent him back to his mother. And Tiffany said, do you hear how that sounds? She said, shut up. I just heard it when I said it out loud. Anyway, so now we have a quick scene with Pastor Jefferson and his daughter. And she's like, where's mom? I don't know. She didn't sleep in the guest room. Her side of the bed is not wrinkled. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, maybe she got up early. She's like, I know you playing that game when you don't want to lie. And so you tell half the truth and blah, blah, blah. He's like, what are you talking about? And they go back and forth till he finally tells her to leave. So this is his second time realizing his wife is not in the house. Okay. But Pastor Jefferson is ignoring this. I mean, is this something that your wife does often, that you feel this way? Because if this is a regular thing, then there is a problem with your marriage, and the kids are right about it. His daughter's like, are y'all getting divorced? He's like, we're not getting divorced. Me and your mother are happy. We're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. But see, you happy. Your wife ain't. You know what I mean? So now he told her to go upstairs and go get her books and stuff and go to school, because he wasn't addressing her and dealing with her no more. So now we have Naomi done call Hakeem. And y'all know who Hakeem is. He's the one that plays Doc on All the Queen's Men. And so he comes in her house asking, what the hell happened up in here? And she's like, I got robbed and stuff. So she asked him, how connected is he? Because she want the person who did this dealt with, like removed from the planet. And he said that's light work, basically. So then she tells him it was her ex-husband and he did it through the court. He's like, how'd he do that? She's like, I don't know. But she said, I need him dealt with and taken care of. And he was like, okay, cool. Not a problem. She said, now take off your clothes. He's like, I don't have on a wire. She said, I don't care about no wires. She said, I know you ain't got one on. She said, this is about what I need now. So she told him take off his clothes and meet her in the bedroom. And she had on this nice little lingerie outfit, with leather. And I could see me in something like that. But anyway, I almost digressed. Okay. So anyway, next we back at Pastor Jefferson's house, and the kids are leaving out for school. and they see their mom in the car, and they realize that she still have on her clothes from last night. And the daughter's like, "What's wrong, Mom? What's going on?" The daughter seemed more concerned than the son, and then the son had the nerve to ask for money. His name is Laz. She said, "Laz, please go catch your school bus." She told him to catch the school bus. Nothing's going on. And they were like, "But Mom," she said, "Go!" She yelled at him, "The bus is there." And then they left. But y'all know what this is about. Remember last week, he didn't open the door for her. He didn't open that door in the last episode. So she sat there, and she gonna sit there until he opened that more freaking door. I couldn't believe this. But I ain't even mad at her. She gonna let him know, I'm sure, in next week's episode. So now, y'all, the next thing we see that Geneva made it home with her dress on and everything. Her husband said he's going to take Anika to school. He made breakfast for her. She's like, "I'm not really hungry." He's like, "Baby, you got to eat something. You've been out there all night. You got to eat something." So she sat down and nibbled on, I guess, some fruit or whatever. He goes out, I guess, with the baby to bring her to school, Anika. We see the scene that Geneva is there spying on him, and she still got that daggone dress on. Now, you going to tell me you didn't have 5 minutes to switch into something else, and you think he's not going to recognize your car? You are watching him, spying on him as he's at the child's school, and he gives a like a yellow, what is that, a dandelion or something like that? No, a sunflower to the white parent who wears the yoga pants or something like that. You know, she has the studio called Agoy, yoga backwards. And then he hugs her. So I think I read somewhere some people think that he's doing helping him out with something, probably a surprise for Geneva or something like that. But Geneva is sitting there going, wow, watching all of this go down as her phone rings, and it's Javon, and he's trying to ask about how Naomi's doing. She said, "I'm sure Tiffany will tell you about it." And he said, "Well, I want to hear your voice." And he basically wants her to tell him that she don't want him to go date Tiffany. And she said, "I'm not going to do that." He said, "Then what you want me to do is just sit around and wait?" She said, "I don't want you to do that either." And as she's watching what her husband's doing, she just tell Javon, "I don't have time for this," and she hangs up on him. So I'm like, whoa, I just feel like we're seeing this, but I don't think William is cheating on her. I really don't. Y'all put it down in the comment section what y'all think about that. Do you think William is cheating on her, or do you think that Geneva's seeing something that's not really happening? Maybe this girl is helping William, do a surprise for Geneva. And so the episode ends with Pastor Jefferson coming out and seeing Geneva in the car and like, "Babe, what are you doing? Did you sleep here all night? I thought you were in the guest room." "No, you didn't. Your kids told you that she wasn't in there." And she said, "You didn't open the door for me last night." He said, "Geneva, you're being a little childish." And she said, "No, I'm not." He's telling her it's just a door. And she's like, "It's not just a door. It's everything that's wrong with our marriage. I mean, there's obviously some significance behind it." And he's not even hearing her. He's not hearing her. He's not listening. And she's telling him, "You don't care about me anymore. You don't love me anymore." And he's like, "That's not true." She said, "No, you don't." And she's crying and stuff. She's very upset. And so she raised her voice, and he's looking around. She said, "Look, you concerned about what everybody else thinks and not even hearing what I'm trying to say." And then his phone rings, and she's like, "See, you concerned about everybody but me. Just answer it. Go ahead, just answer." He said, "No." She snatches the phone and grabs it and pushes the button. And it's Myron saying, "Are you in the car, babe? Can you talk?" Ooh! Now, we know earlier, Pastor Jefferson told somebody he'll call him when he's in the car. So this is like too coincidental, you guys. Too coincidental. And so that's how the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode, and I'll see y'all all in the next one. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.